What's up guys, today I explain you, could Yorichi solo the upper rank demons? And don't forget to like this video, subscribe this channel, because we are close to hit the 1200 followers and now have fun with the video. Eiichiro Oda continues to surpass expectations with the final saga of One Piece, with the Elbaf arc well underway now. Egghead Island, the beginning of the final saga of One Piece, surpassed all expectations and reached a level that fans did not truly expect. In many ways, the final saga of One Piece has only just begun, and fans know that Oda will turn up the intensity even more moving forward. Luffy's journey across the high seas has been nothing short of staggering so far. Having set out on his adventure at the age of 17, Luffy has now become a Yonko in just 2 years, which is unheard of. But Luffy's journey is not complete yet, and it appears that Oda intends to draw many more adventures with the Straw Hat Pirate, some even into his old age. As the protagonist of One Piece, fans knew that Luffy would be embarking upon a massive adventure. When Luffy set out on his journey to becoming the Pirate King, he made it quite clear that he wanted a total of 10 pirate crew members, and at the same time, he would go on to conquer his enemies and become the Pirate King by claiming the grand treasure known as the One Piece. At that moment, Luffy's dreams might have seemed lofty, but with time, he certainly went on to prove himself to everyone. And that is precisely why Luffy is a member of the 4 emperors right now. But Luffy's journey to becoming an emperor wasn't easy. In order to be noticed by the world, Luffy first had to take a plethora of powerful individuals in the East Blue, such as Arlong, Don Krieg, and even Buggy. These actions earned him a bounty of 30 million berries, which certainly raised an eyebrow. But it wasn't until Luffy defeated Crocodile, a famed pirate in the Grand Line worth 80 million berries at the time, that he was truly thought of as a massive threat. Later on, Luffy continued his grand adventures and caused a massive event in Enies lobby. When rescuing Robin, Luffy razed the place to the ground and successfully managed to escape the clutches of the government. He continued his grand quest and took down even Gecko Moria, and then, around the Paramount War, not only did he infiltrate Impel Down and lead to the largest breakout from the prison, but also attacked Marine HQ and survived. Naturally, a pirate with such infamy was bound to succeed greatly. After the time skip, Luffy continued to grow in terms of power and influence, and he managed to defeat Doflamingo, followed by beating stronger individuals such as Cracker and Katakuri. All of this culminated in Luffy defeating Kaido, and that is how he claimed the position of an emperor for himself. All of this was achieved by Luffy in just 2 years. Right now, Luffy is 19, and it is almost unbelievable that he has accomplished all this in such a short amount of time. When one thinks of how One Piece is going to continue from here onwards, fans know that Oda will most likely go on to draw Elbaf and then, most likely, have Luffy claim the One Piece within an arc or two, followed by the Great War. But Oda's statements seem to be somewhat conflicting. It appears that there might actually be a time skip in One Piece and fans might actually get the chance to see an older version of Luffy. While Oda has not explicitly stated this, he has made a statement in 2016 that heavily implies this. Here is what Oda has to say about drawing an adventure of older Luffy. While this statement might not seem big on the surface, dissecting it reveals massive information to the fans. Essentially, this statement can only be interpreted in 2 ways. The first way the statement can be interpreted is that Oda intends to draw Luffy's entire life as a pirate right up until the very end, which means that Luffy will grow up in One Piece and, at some point, retire from piracy, just as some legendary individuals, such as Rayleigh, have done. After all, once Luffy accomplishes his true dream, which fans are not aware of, he really would have no reason to go around sailing on a pirate ship and would simply want to live his life freely as he wants. But, in order for Luffy to do this, he would have to grow old because according to Oda himself, he wants to draw the entire life of the pirate named Luffy until the very end. This essentially means that Luffy will age up and fans might even get to see 40-year-old on the 60-year-old version of Luffy in One Piece that Oda has previously designed already. The other way to interpret the statement is that Luffy's journey will be cut short and that he will go on to die at some point in One Piece. This way, Oda can depict Luffy's journey right up until the very end, which, in this case, would be a premature death. That said, the chances of this happening are not that high. Oda has himself stated that he wants to end One Piece with a big party and that he hates killing off characters, because then he can't have massive banquets. Luffy, the main character of One Piece, cannot die, because if he did, Oda won't get the chance to draw any banquet at all. Given that Oda will most definitely not kill off Luffy in One Piece, the only way to interpret his statement is assuming that he intends to have another time skip and give the fans a chance to see an older version of Luffy in One Piece. This is incredibly exciting, because fans would absolutely love a time skip and see an older and more mature version of Luffy, where not only has he learned more about being a pirate, but at the same time, has grown dramatically in terms of strength as well. As to how this time skip can be brought about, there are two ways. Either One Piece can enter a time skip before the Great War, which would certainly be exciting, because fans would then get the chance to see Luffy at the peak of his powers in his prime during the final war, or there will be a One Piece time skip after the Great War. Taking all things into consideration, it would make more sense for that to be a time skip after the Great War, because Luffy's adventure will most likely continue as a 19-year-old for the time being. The Great War is almost upon the world, and there cannot be a time skip in One Piece right now. This only means that Oda will give fans a bunch of time skips after the Great War, and when Luffy has already become the Pirate King. This would also mirror the pre-time skip One Piece, where the time skip actually happened after the Paramount War. Once the Great War concludes, fans might get an epilogue arc of One Piece, where they get to see the grown-up versions of all the Straw Hats.